We would be honored if you would join us.
Hear me? Can you hear me? Do I need to turn the mic up? What about now? Is it what about now? How it sound now? Maybe I need to get up on the mic. Maybe I need to get up on the mic. What's good with the sound now? Maybe I'm talking too loud. How it sound? Listen. Can y'all hear me good? How it sound? Do I need to turn it up? See, yeah, I can't really hear it. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Yo, listen, I see a lot of familiar faces. A lot of familiar faces. So um, I'm partial. I got to tell you, I'm partial to the sector. So I'm always going to acknowledge y'all first and foremost. Um, and I got my own little sector salute when I see my family in here, my dysfunctional family. So we're gonna hit y'all with that. All right. Well, let me turn that up. Let me turn it up because I couldn't even hear that. All right, there we go. There we go. That's for y'all. What's good, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hopefully, everybody is doing good. And all right, let me get up in here. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm a rookie to this, so y'all gotta help me along. Um, I always believe that we should do like not necessarily Zoom, I guess, because everybody doesn't want to be on camera and stuff like that. But maybe we could do like meetings and things like that that discuss content. You can't hear me? Oh, I don't know why you watching that BS anyway. I don't know why you watching that. We not entertaining any giant slander in there, and Cowboy fans will be dealt with accordingly. I see two in the chat, two confirmed Cowboy fans in the chat, and yeah, uh, hey, y'all just do what y'all do. All right, so I'm just turn the background music off, make sure it's off, and so I ain't got to worry about that. All right, cool. So oh, I don't have nothing on anyway, so that's perfect. So yeah, what's going on? What's everybody getting into? Is everybody um is everybody doing resolutions, or is that like something that people are not doing? What we doing? Are we doing resolutions, or is it new year, new me, or we just moved on? What we talking about out here? Um, I always like to oh, cause see, I ain't even watching Dr. Nikki. I'm not even watching. Um, I guess I should be watching because I'm a Giant fan, but um, their season been over for a while, so I ain't watching it. But yeah. So, listen, I got. I'm gonna say peace to everybody here. I'm about peace. Lisa J. Stocks, Dr. Nikki, Germ on the board was good. Um, Stephanie, of course, counselor. Slander God, appreciate you for coming. Carla Martin, of course, Pastor Muzz. Yep. Me and Mines, of course. Um, I say Carla Martin, Stephanie. Yep. Oh, Ray Triggs, what's up, Triggs? Hey, for that trailer that I did, that little video trailer, um, I had I emailed it to you, but I don't think you saw that it was attached. So, because I wanted some constructive criticism and advice as well, but I don't think you realized that I attached it to there. So uh you know so maybe you didn't what am I streaming on? What do you mean? Is the sound quality bad? Drama, is the sound quality bad? Nah, no problem. but it's still, it's there, it's available on the page. It's just a short video. So I still, you can, it's in the email. I probably changed a couple of things. It's in the email, so you can still pick it apart. And that was just strictly Canva, and um, I looked for different things on the internet to find sound bites and stuff like that. So it was just, you know, something that I've worked within my capabilities. So um, that that's what that was. But I know you do editing, so I wanted you to, you know, I wanted you to take a look at it, and just some direction, some direction. Drama. What you mean? What am I streaming on? What's your question about? You talking about the camera? Mm-mm. Okay. So Dr. Nikki, you doing 3 long term and 3 short term. And when you say short term, what's the time frame with that? Oh, I'm on StreamYard. Yeah, I'm on StreamYard. My bad. My bad. Yeah. Um, StreamYard, and I'm using the Elgato Face Cam. All right. You know what? How does it sound now? Because you know what it is. Um, I turn off the. Let me get this up and put it up louder. 6 months and 12 months. That's what's up. Yeah. So drama. I turn off the noise gate now. I used to keep the noise gate on, and that drowns out all the sound. You know what? Let me go in here real quick, because I know why my sound is not. Let me go and adjust this real quick, because I think. Oh, how about now? Okay, you know what? I didn't have everything hooked up. So I'm running the sound through the Rodecaster Pro, and it didn't, I didn't go into my sounds and make sure that I'm running my sounds through there. So, small little adjustments. But I turn off the noise gate, so I drown out the sound of, when I'm not talking. So the noise gate, and it's like I'm not savvy as I need to be with adjusting it so it doesn't tail off. And I listen to things, and so when I'm listening to it, I can hear like the little finite little things, because I started off doing just audio podcasting. So all I had was to listen to, and then when I was editing, I could, I would be listening, taking out certain things. So the noise gate was one of the things that I still haven't mastered yet. So I just took it off. And if you don't know what a noise gate is, it basically, when you talk, it opens up so the mic can hear you. And as soon as you stop talking, it closes down so you can't hear anything. Um, so you can't hear anything outside of that. And my internet is crazy too. So right before I started, my internet, um, the camera, everything just seemed like it's starting to, and I was just, but it is what it is. So I, oh, I didn't even acknowledge Harmony. What's up, Harmony? One of my accountability partners. So I got this idea. I'm in an accountability group, and we basically, there's this app called Voxer, and we leave voice messages and we talk to each other through the Voxer. Pretty much every day we communicate, but we also used to do Zoom meetings every Monday, and we would just talk about goals and things like that and try to hold each other accountable. And we would set things for that particular week, and then we would meet on that the next Monday, and then we had to go through, okay, here's what you said you were going to do. Did you do it? Why didn't you do it? Blah blah blah. We would we would hold each other accountable and give each other tips. So that's been a tool in that I've had for the last since 2019. It was before the pandemic started. I met some really good people and built a family um, within that accountability group. So um, I say all that to say, Mark, who started the accountability group, was talking about he kind of just went over this idea about how do you count your time, and I was thinking, um, it got me thinking, and he talked about he said he wanted to do it like summer, so it's like how many he posed a question like how many summers do we have left. So so he inspired me to start thinking about how many summers. So I started looking up the average age of black males living in the United States. Went to the CDC website, found different reports from NBA, Fox News, CNN, and as far as I could see, the age was 71.9 is the average age. What's up, legend? Um, so basically 72 years, and I just turned 50 this past year. So that that means on average I have 22 summers left. Now that doesn't mean that I'll make it to the 22 or I won't live past it. I'm just going off on the averages. Um, and so that's what the idea was. And that's what the idea for the stream was. And I actually reached out to a couple of people because I wanted 50, 50 and older. A couple of people. I reached out to a couple of people, and one of them actually is Legend. I'm glad you're here. Do you? If you don't have the link, if you don't have the email link, then I'll drop the link in the chat for you, and then you can just come up through there if you're available. But the first person I reached out to was TMK Media. He's one of those voices to me that a, a lot of times uh, when we're getting along or not getting along, or we're on these panels and we having discussions, he's one of those people that I saw trying to bring balance to it. And what's your question? Yeah, what's the question? Yeah, so he was one of those people. TMK was one of those people that I saw, trying to bring balance, have some fun, but also, hey, let's have some conversations too. I always appreciated that voice, and so I reached out to him first, and you know, he said he was good with it, and I also reached out to Legend. So it's gonna be that's what we're gonna start off with us three on the panel, and like I said, Legend, just let me know if you need the link in the chat or if you have the email, and then we'll go from there. But uh, okay, all right, cool. Let me get that. Let me put that there. Hey, they got royalty in the house. How you doing, Miss VS? Let's see. All right. Let me bring Dr. Bombay.
Yo, what's happening?
What's going on? What's
Why do I
going
have an
on?
echo?
I don't hear it. I don't hear an echo.
Okay. Let me see here. Gotta peace to the chat and the host and everybody while we work out these technical difficulties.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. All right, I shouldn't be hearing it
Oh, you
now.
guys can hear an echo because I can't.
I can still hear it, but hold on. Echo cancellation is. Yeah. I have no clue. I can work with it.
Let's see. Let's see. You want me to take the cancellation off on yours? Or you have it?
I don't know if that's. It's like it's literally a 1 second delay. I didn't hear it until you put me on this.
Let me just try real quick and see what happens. See if it get worse. How about now? Oh, now
Testing.
I'm getting it. Never mind.
Yeah, I can hear it. Maybe just bounce me out and bounce me back in.
Say again?
Maybe take me out of the stream and then put me back in.
Okay, yeah. You just want me to put you in the back or completely you want to go all the way out?
Just put me in the back and then just bring me back up.
All right, cool. All right. So yeah, we're gonna chop it up a little bit, and hopefully you guys enjoy it and contribute to. And depending on how much we, get out the way, maybe have people come up and we can, or at least if you want to chime in, I definitely want you guys to participate in the chat. I definitely want it to be as interactive as possible. And if you have any ideas or things that you think will be a good, topic for somebody like me to discuss, by all means, send them to me. And I definitely will look. And I'm like a research type of dude too. Like if you give me a topic, I'm gonna dive down the rabbit hole a little bit. I like to know at least a little bit of what I'm talking about. At least a little bit. Oh, so when he's talking, I should mute. Okay, that might be what we do. Might be what we will do. We'll see. All right. Bring it back up. Bring it back up. How you doing now?
And we're back.
You sound better?
Yeah.
Good?
You're not listening to it in your room, are you?
Say again?
Are you listening to this broadcast in your room where you are?
Nah, I'm just
It's just in your earphones.
Yeah.
Bro, can you hear me?
Yeah, yep. Sounds
Dr.
good.
Bombay, you hear me good?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, okay. Let me. I ain't echoing or nothing. I'm good.
Yeah, nah, everything good. Sound good.
He echoing to me too, but it's not him. I think it's on your side.
Oh, so what? Let me go on. Wait a minute. See, the amateur hour on me. What am I doing here? Let me go on with that.
Legend, do you hear yourself echoing when you talk?
Nah, I'm good.
Why is it just me?
How about now? Did I do it?
1,
Test.
2, 1, 2.
Test.
Yeah, you can.
Nope, no
Test,
echo.
how it sound. No
1,
echo?
2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm good.
So that was me. I didn't have the echo. I didn't click echo cancellation. So that was on me. My bad. All right. So yeah, what's good, Legend? How you doing? How's your day today?
I'm maintaining, bro. How about yourself?
Good. You going in and out?
I'm going in and out.
You sound clear to me.
Okay. No. Yeah,
we good?
Okay. Yep.
Now
So,
Sundays I just relaxing, man. How about yourself?
Okay. I'm good. I was relaxing and I went outside and took a nice walk in the cold.
Yeah, it's cold. It's snowing up here.
Yeah, it's snowing. It's snowing out here. Let me see. Who's this in the back? Who are you in the back? Oh, okay. Let's see. All right, cool. Yeah, so I reached out to both of y'all because I feel like you guys had good voice and you expound on topics. And a lot of times, like to me, it sounds like right off the top of the dome. That always to me lends for a good conversation. And also too, you guys are older gentlemen, seen some things, live a nice full life. So I wanted the chance to chop it up with y'all too, is I don't I don't get a chance to get on panels with y'all, but I definitely thought of you two first when I wanted to do this. So I'm gracious for your time. I know time is precious. You guys have family, so I'm gracious for you guys giving me the time. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man, putting it together, man. I always down for good conversation, man. Especially when it's the topic you put together. That's heavy.
Well, yeah. Again, like I said, I give credit to one of my accountability partners who was just talking about it. It was just because we get caught up in everyday life, and sometimes you gotta, and you guys can lend to the fact that, especially if anybody younger is listening, how time flies, and before you know it, we're here now. And so when I say to you guys, um, on average, we will live to 72 on average. Again, it doesn't mean you're not going to go past. What kind of thought does that bring to you at this particular time?
Go ahead, Bombay. You go ahead, Bombay.
Oh, no, it just, statistically, yes, that is, factual. But, I look at things like too, during the course of that time, the situation has changed because, we got medical technology that's extending people's lives. That I'm seeing more. There's a lot of people living a lot longer, and also the reason why that statistic exists is because we're creatures of habit. We kind of do the same things day in and day out. We don't change. Like me personally, I'm at a point in my life now where I'm like, all right, I got to get this diet straight. It's a lot of things that I got to fix so that I don't progressively get worse, medically. So that's pretty much my thinking on that. Yeah, I understand. I hear the statistics. It's funny. We were having a meeting at work and we were talking about clients and life expectancy because that's some of the things we do when we calculate and finances. So the boss man literally said, he says, well, we were talking about the average age, and Hispanics men were above us and black men were at the bottom of the totem pole. So I just said, well, I hear you, but we're gonna beat those odds. So it's just, you got to make life changes, to bring that about. So yeah, I hear that, but I also realize if I accept it, then most likely, I'm going to meet my demise. So I hear the statistics. I'm like, well, and I still got a plan. I talk to people every day, like I said, at work. They always talk about, a lot of them, believe it or not, they talk about, I don't think I'm a retire. I know I'm jumping ahead in the conversation, so let me stop. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hear that. I hear the statistics, but I also know that a lot of us as human beings, we kind of like to do what we want to do, and we're hard headed, even when the doctors say don't. So I realize it's my choice. You know what I'm saying? So along with the technology and changing habits, I'm trying to beat the odds personally.
For me, bro, whole different concept, man, because I ain't I never at and how can I put this? I never even looked past 17 summers, bro. You coming up. You know what I'm saying? So to get here, and like I said, that's heavy because I never thought of it like that until you put it together like this. 22 summer, the life, because most of the males in my where I come from die young. I'm from the where people die young. I haven't seen a lot of men reach that age. And for me, like at 50, I had maybe I had a 7-year-old. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a health conscious person. So my health, I've always been about that. You know what I mean? But my thing has always been the way my lifestyle would never been conducive to me even living that age. So I never even had the concept. You know what I'm saying? It's like every day was a blessing after 21. You know what I'm saying? For me.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually I actually cried when I turned 50, which was just last year, because
Mm-hmm.
like you, it was 21 was like that was like the cap, you know what I'm saying? So, starting to lose friends, 12, 13 years old,
Yeah.
and then you just settle into that at least one a year. And so like I lived in 20 different addresses in my city. So I always say I was fortunate enough and unfortunate enough that I made a lot of friends. So, you know, but doing that, you end up losing a lot of friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And,
And
and then the other, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you go, bro. You go.
I was gonna say another thing was like, okay, so then there was that time period. It was like I want to say from like 13 to about 18, 19, where it's like at least one person every year was,
Mm.
checking out, and then everybody kind of settled into life and everybody became square, which is a great thing. I'm a advocate for a square life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody became square, and then health, like people when we got to 30s and 40s, then health started taking people. So I had once we made it past 21 and everybody, married, kids, house and everything like that, I'm like, okay, we gonna grow, we gonna have these conversations, we gonna, but then people started dying, from, whether it be from prior drug use or,
Mm-hmm.
car accidents or, you know, so then I had to reevaluate like, okay, this can happen anytime. And then, like most people, I kind of just, get back into the hamster wheel of life. And, next thing you know, you hear again, somebody passed away and sad for a little while. And then you get back to, I'm grinding again. So, um, the idea for me with the 22 summers it's a vivid thing to think about, but the idea is for us to slow down and not necessarily count the summers, but enjoy the day.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't do that. If you spend your time like, oh, I believe I only got this left, you know, uh, that's part of your demise right there. Like for me, like knowing that I've made it this far and the lifestyle that I was living wasn't conducive to that, and I still was able to do that. So if I've changed the lifestyle, not and when I say the lifestyle, I mean the way I'm living outside in the streets. See, that's the only problem I ever had with life and death. Natural life and death, that's what we're gonna get. We got that. We got that coming. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about what you're doing with your life. If you on your drugs later on in life, that's gonna catch up with you. You know, if you ran the streets, you ain't getting no rest, you didn't eat good, all that stuff catches up with us later on in life. You know what I'm saying? And then we start realizing it then. See, like black men, we afraid of doctors and stuff like that. We don't like to go to the doctors. We got to be crawling in the hospital. Somebody got to drag us in there. You feel me? Real, yeah. Like me, man. I hate going to the doctors, bro. You know, they scare me. Hospitals scare me. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I know, like, yeah, that's gonna be my last stop. But that's not how I still got young. See, and what I call fortunate for me was having a young child at a later age. You know what I'm saying? When I was 50, my son was 7. So that's the sponge stage for children. And for me, have been around and knowing how, I gotta raise this one different so he don't have to even go near the footsteps that I had to go in. And also I can't be no old bent back man with no 7-year-old
Yeah.
boy. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that right there made me have to maintain my health. You know what I mean? Maintain everything in my life had to turn up, knowing that I got even though I had other children, older, I have older, but they older. You know what I'm saying? And it was the same thing with them. But I also have a span in my life where I wasn't on the streets. You know what I'm saying? And in there where I really had to figure out about my health, because I was in a place where they'd kill you. They was,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? So I had to figure that out too, all in the course of maintaining my health, not only through my diet, not only through my activities, but shit, man, niggas kill you in them places. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot that came with how I got to this point right now. And like I said, man, when you put it together with the 22 summer thing, that I just started thinking of it like that, bro.
You want to add Bombay?
Wow, a lot to process. So, you know, it's funny. I was listening to the story. I was listening to Legend's response, and I was sitting here thinking the whole time he was speaking, and I was like, what happened in life that has me sitting here right now, where like I didn't end up in prison, right? And because we was all in the neighborhood doing the same things. And what I noticed is this, because it's something he said, it just rang something out of me. I got a homeboy that did 30 years for murder he didn't do. I got homeboys that did 25 years for murders they did do. I got people that did things and they got away with it, never went to jail. And then it was me who, for some reason, I was just always in the right place at the right time, or I just knew what to say. I don't know, right? So it makes me wonder, because we always, you know what I'm saying, like we were raised to believe, like, because we in a neighborhood or we in the ghetto, that it's always one path. But I'm noticing it don't seem to be that don't seem to be the law. Because like I said, I got homies that's in jail, they ain't do nothing. Homies that did stuff, never went to jail, and then, you know, vice versa, some that did and got sentenced. Now, what's odd is this: I got at least 2 or 3 homeboys did like 25 years to 30 years, came home. They're some of the biggest activists in the city. Now, when they went away, they couldn't read. I mean, we was in school together. They was illiterate. They done went in there and wrote books. They out here doing the work. Make me feel ashamed because I'm not at the level they at. You know, so I'm starting to see here this paradigm of, you know, you come from the hood. It's just this, you're going to end up a certain way. And you don't know because the story hasn't been written yet. You know what I'm saying? And then there's people like me that never went away. And then in their 40s, they have a domestic thing or something. Not me, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that like that. And you 45 years old, you get into it, something happened, you end up, somebody lose their life and you gone away. So you really, you know, we just got to get out of the stereotypes of believing like, well, I live here, it's going to be a certain path, because you never know. You know, like I say, them brothers came home. Now, sad to say, one of the brothers that did like 25, he came home. He tried to go in the west side of the city and be more, and he tried to mediate a beef between these two youngins, and he ended up getting killed. Now, here it is. This man has been away since 1977, in jail his whole life, and he died on the street trying to do the right thing. And that's what, you know, so with that said, it's like, as we raised our children, it's like the best thing I say you can do is be the example. Like grown man said, you know, he's like, I got a youngin', I gotta just be this example. That's the best lessons you can give, because you just never know. You know, especially when you have multiple children like me, you know, you be the best example, but like I said, there's always one of them that's gonna do something. You know how it is. Your wife say, don't touch the pot on the stove, the pot is hot. All right, you got that one kid. They go, mine said the pot hot, it must be hot. All right, no problem. You got the other kid that can look at the pot, see the steam, see the flame, understand there's some chemical combustion going on, and know that the pot is hot, don't touch it. Then it's that other little one. They got to put their hand smack on it. Now you got to be rushing them out to the hospital, right? So although we're the example, you know what I'm saying, you just never know. And then it's society. You know, you got your son that's in college. He's in the car with some other kids. Something jump off. Boom. He get took away. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, it's really hard to just pinpoint it down. You just got to do the best you can, you know, be the example and teach your kids how to navigate out here. Like I've said in the past, I always give my father credit for the short time that he was here. He looked at all of us as kids and he trained us different ways. He raised us different ways. Like my brother, I've said this in the past, he raised him to survive in the streets because he said, I can look at this guy. This is where he's going to be. And it's funny because my brother literally said, yo, I would be dead if dad didn't teach me how to fight multiple people at one time, how to survive with nothing. For a while, he was homeless in LA, you know, and he said, because of dad, I survived. My father taught me, he trained me differently. He said, I ain't teaching you none of this city, the hood stuff. Your goal is to get over this wall. I'm gonna teach you how to scale this wall, but I can't tell you what's on the other side because I haven't been in that world. You're gonna have to navigate that. So you got to look at your kids and recognize, see their potential that's in them and be realistic about it. Because if not, if you have in your mind, like, I'm just shining example, I got my life together. Because a lot of us, we make mistakes because we all did. You know what I mean? I did too. And I told my kids, like I told them, I said, look, these are certain things you don't do, right? Your friend's going to tell you to get in the car. You got to be real careful before you get in that car. Number one, make sure some keys in ignition because you don't want to be like me. You know, you riding around and then all of a sudden you down the precinct, you know, trying to explain. You tell them, but like I said, remember, some are going to need to see if that pot is hot. So, but you got to give them all the lessons and you got to look inside of them and not delude yourself and tell yourself like, oh, well, he's smart, he's intelligent, he ain't going, you don't know, you know what I'm saying? But you got to recognize their potential and groom them for it. Now, I know it's sad to say who would train a child, you know, to be in the hood. But I mean, you got to be realistic. You might have 4 sons. You might just got that one, you know, and he's like, he about the street. And you got to be like, all right, well, he want to go the hard way. And with us as parents, we always tell them, we always say the same thing. I don't want you to do what I did. I don't want you to go through what I go through. Now, let me ask y'all an honest question. How many times your mother or your father said the same thing to you and you did the opposite anyway? So that's realism. You know what I'm saying? They told us the same thing. I don't want you to go through but we need to see the pot is hot. And sometimes you got that child, they just want to know the pot is hot. And you're going to have to just accept that. Like, you know, well, I told mine, I said, look, if you call me from down the precinct, I'm going to ask you one question, guilty or not guilty. Now, depending on how you answer, depending on if I get up out this bed or not. So, I ain't getting up no 3 in the morning. I got work, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, baby boy, he's like, I was in the store. And I said, so I'm like, look, you was in the store. Your man, what do you do? He put some in his pocket. Hey, you know, you should have walked the other way, you know?
Bro, and you know what? That's crazy because I'm the total opposite. I'm in my drawers at the police station. What do I need to get this boy out? You feel me? I gotta get him out of there. To experience that is not conducive to having a good life at the end of the day. It messes with people's psychology, man. That terrorizes it, demoralizes, it emasculates young black men. That's what it's designed for. You know what I'm saying? So we want to always try to keep them out of there, man. You know what I'm saying? If we know what we know about them situations, we got to do our best to keep our young ones out of there, man, and try to turn their minds into something else. You know what I mean? Like you got to be able to look at these kids today, see what they are, and turn them into something else. That's what I tell these young boys. I look you in your eyes, young boy, and I'm gonna turn you into something else. Because that's what they're going to do to you if they get you behind their bars and walls. You ain't going to get 22 summers.
No.
Do you? I know it's do. See, to have 22 summers without freedom. Imagine that. We're able to be free out here, and it's still rough. Can you imagine the mindset of a man who has to do that for 22 years? And we're going to let our young ones be subjected to that? We can't do that, bro. So it's more than being an example. You know what I mean? You got to be the bar. You got to see the bar set real low right now. Integrity and all that don't matter no more. It's who got the biggest mouth or the deepest pockets. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you fueled off, then your bar never gonna get set too high. You ain't gonna have no goals. Niggas don't even set goals no more. Ask a nigga what's your goal. He gonna stumble. I guarantee you. He ain't got none. So no goals means no aspirations, mean no progress, mean you ain't telling my youngins nothing. You can't even tell yourself anything. You ain't got a goal.
And it's important. It's important
Hey,
that you do that, especially with your kids, because y'all know the world is going to chew them up and spit them out, and it here. You guys know it's at one point there was like probably like I don't know how many square feet of area where we swore by that, like this is like like I'm gonna die in this spot right here. This is
right.
and that spot don't give a shit about you. It's blood all in that concrete and all in that grass, and it don't care about you. And part of us as the older generation, because that's what we are. I mean, we like and
you break it up, bro.
Yeah, I can still get out there in that court with them young boys, and so yeah, I can. So, there's some things to resolve yourself with the fact that we are older. So in that case, we should be passing that along to the next generation, and because again, there's going to be all kinds of misinformation that they're going to get from their peers or from the world, and nobody's going to, that like you, who else but you going to show up in your drawers at the station? You know what I'm saying? So that's where our roles are important. And do you feel like, do either one you feel like, with that being said, in our roles, do you feel like when you are talking to younger kids, you feel like you're able to reach them? Like what kind of response you think you feel like you're getting from them?
For me, I like, that's what I like to do, because that's what was done to me. I got the game. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was able to make the choices I made with knowing the penalties and consequences. So that's what I let them know. Like, the choice is always going to be yours. It's for whether you 9 or 90. It's the penalties and consequences that come with the actions that you choose to indulge in. You know what I'm saying? Now, me and you, we buddies. We both go to school together. Hey, he like to go off with the other guys sometime, and they doing some, you got a choice. You got two choices. You could tell them, yo, man, I still want to be cool with you, but I ain't fucking with that. And that's how I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to them, yeah, well, you shouldn't. Nah, don't, you ain't you ain't fucking with that. That's your choice. Or you can go ahead, be weak-minded, because at the end of the day, that's what you are. And when they get you behind them things, they don't care nothing about that, because those are some of your penalties and consequences. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who told you that empire and power and snowfall and all that shit was real, but ain't nothing for a motherfucker in the streets but the penitentiary, the graveyard, and the crazy house. You don't get rich off the motherfucking streets. You ain't gonna, nah. They gotta fucking walk. They don't allow that for a black man. That's not for us. It's for us to destroy our neighborhoods. But we don't know that when we 15 and we don't know that. We know Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, fast cars, fast women. That's what we knew. You know what I'm saying? So if you know all that, why would you tell a child something other than that in any other language? You got to reach the people in the language that they can understand. You can't talk to kids on no intellectual level when they ain't got no respect for their own parents, because they'll disrespect you. I ain't allowing that. That's why I wouldn't allow a grown man to do it. So why would I allow it? I'm not doing all that. So we got to reach them where they at. Like we got to do some grown folk at time. That's just the reality of our society today. when my father ain't even had to talk to me. He can look at me a certain way, and I good. Oh shit, I did something. Fuck, I do. Get away from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Mom too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that today.
I want to ask you a question about that. I was going to ask you. You hit on it. You said you got a 7-year-old son who's
he was 7 when I was 50.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that kind of takes it off the table. He's older now.
Yeah. He's big boy now.
Well, the thing is with that, I mean, technically, most of our kids are like the next generation. Your son was 2 generations away from you.
Facts.
And you are you telling me, because I ain't gonna lie, it's hard enough speaking the language of the next generation. You communicated with him well and you understood, like, y'all, how's y'all communication? Because
that's my best friend. That's me and him. Anywhere you see me, you see him. That's how it's always been since he was a baby. Like, he being a stroller, I always got him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, and the thing about it was, at 50, I was a bit active. You feel me? And when I was having to have him, I was like, yo, like, this is almost a repeat cycle for me. Because I remember when I had my daughter back in the 80s, I'd be walking around with her with a bulletproof vest on. I said, I think I'm not going to repeat no cycles. So I'm going to have to remove myself from a situation in order for him to be a thriving adult later on in life. Fuck me, it's over for me. I always say, man, it's not even about, I'm not even here for me anymore. I did me. It's for them. Anything I do is for my youngins, the ones I know and the ones I don't know, the ones I raised, the ones I biologically raised, the ones that's here, man. Them the ones we got to protect. Fuck these old niggas.
Now y'all see why I picked these 2 brothers here to talk and have this conversation. You know, to be able to chop it up and just to be real and raw, and we all live in different places, but we all probably have, some of the shared experiences, and we all arrived here. So, I really appreciate y'all.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I'm digging this conversation. You was gonna say something, Bombay, because I was gonna try to lighten it up a little bit. I know it's heavy, but I was gonna try to lighten it up.
It sounded like you was about to kick us out, so I was just like,
no. Nah, we not.
Yeah. The brother answered the question for me. He stayed. He was in close proximity of the child, and they formed that bond. Because I swear, these millennials, kids of mine, they know everything, and it's no problem. And I want to go on record to say too, I know I told them kids call me from the precinct, but you got to understand that they mama would be the one that they're tearing the bricks out of the wall. So they still would have got you know how
I'm gonna get there, because I know his mama, she gonna put me out the bed. Go get that boy.
Yeah, she gonna be down there with the battering ram, breaking them out. So, but that's cool. That's balance though in the household. Fathers are different from moms. I say tough love. What's funny though is I'm always the one spoiling the girls. Even though I talk that stuff like this, the last time you ain't getting this, ain't nobody got all that money, and I'll be the main one. So on record, and I guess that's a good thing, because Lord knows you don't want to have both parents that's going to leave you in there. So that was a powerful response, by the way. My brother laid down, you can't let your kids go into the system and such, and this and that. Definitely not. Especially nowadays, I don't know. Again, growing up, we didn't see, there were certain codes, even in the criminal world, there was codes. It seems like today, a lot of the codes are just erased. They don't have like certain things. Like they wouldn't do nothing on a Sunday, in the presence of elders. Like if you had a beef with somebody, you with your grandma or moms, it was like, oh, I'll see you later, but now it's like, it's up wherever, especially on the West Coast. My brother always tell me, he always called me. He was calling me crying, talking about, all these dudes sitting on the steps and they won't get out the way when I come by. And I was laughing because I said, that used to be you out there. You know, you a super crip, you know, and you own a hood and all that. This your set and all that. Now the youngins out there, you know, a lot of them his girlfriend relatives, he talking about they don't move. I said, man, it's the same thing. You did the same thing, you know. So
Yeah.
all I can say is that, like I say, it's a lot of things have changed, you know, especially with these streets. It's a lot harder, from what I can see, to raise these kids now, you know, especially with when there ain't no codes.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying, so you definitely got to keep them close. You know, mine's is all, they pretty much grown. They all grown, you know. So I don't know. I'm like giving counsel to them and their kids, you know. But I don't know.
All right. Okay. So we're getting older. Our ego tells us that we're, you know, there's times where, so like I like to say, I can still do some of the things, but the recovery is what gets me. I can still do some of the things, right? And that lends to like our ego, you know, is like dealing with it as we get older. Let me say it like that. So, and we try in the mind of in the vision how younger kids look at us, and they're always watching us, and that's where that like that ego thing comes in. So like if I'm playing ball or whatever, and at one point, you know, I got picked all the time. Now I go out and, you know, they like, who's this dude? And
Go
then
ahead.
I'm the old head, the OG, and I'm the when I'm guarding somebody, they giving me that look like, yo, look on me, yo, you give me
What
the
he
ball.
doing out here?
Yeah, look, yo, give me the ball. So so like for our like what are we doing? Like what are some things you can as you do get older and as you do lose a little bit at a time? Like how do you let go of that ego? What are some of the things that you guys are doing as far as just, you know, being able to say, okay, I have my time?
For me, man, like always being in the sports and you know, on a, you know, top on the as far as high school and on the top level, man. It's hard for me to get at that, bro. Like I tell them, man, I'm gonna be out here shooting in a wheelchair, bro. I'm gonna be on this court. Y'all gonna roll me. That's how I feel about that, bro. It's like certain things like you can't sit me down from, man. Like it just is what it is. I tell you, man. Now listen, brother, we going skating. You telling me, man, you crazy. You ain't going on skate. I'm telling you, we going skating. But when I fall, you get you a dustpan and a broom and you scrape me up and take me out of here. But that's what I'm doing, bro. Like I said, man, like if my 22nd summer hit me tomorrow, man, I'm good. Cause my
Yeah.
people's good. And I did me already. Like that's real, that's really my mindset, bro. It ain't about me. So anything I deemed that was fun back then, and I still, yeah, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? We doing it, man. We going skating.
I'm not skating though.
I know, right?
I'm
But
not
would you
skating.
like to, bro? If you know what I'm saying? If that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
your thing.
I would love to, but I like I said, it's not the action, it's the recovery. You
Oh
know,
man,
you
that's
used to,
that the recovery is terrible, bro. Like,
you used to roll your ankle and what'd you do? Tighten
man,
up your shoe
ain't none
and
of that
boom,
happen.
boom.
That's
Yeah,
like 3 weeks out of work.
yeah. Oh,
Man,
I love,
yo,
yeah. Okay.
man,
And
I
yeah, that's the only thing messed me up, man, is catching an injury, falling. But if I can stay on my feet, man, I'm cool. I'm cool to the next time.
I'm glad he is. Man, I throw my back out reaching for a pen. You know,
Ah,
like it's funny because yeah, you only got to hurt it one good time and that stick with you for life, you know.
I got
So
the Larry Bird shit, man. I don't none of that. I don't, and we ain't gonna worry about none of that, bro. They got techniques for all that, man. Just worry about the recovery, like bro said. If you can get past the recovery, you can get back out there.
yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you. I was I lead a hiking group. You know, I've been out for about a month, almost two. You know, I mean, I had little knee trouble came out of nowhere. I don't know why. It just popped up. You know, I went to the doctor. They was like, "No, it's not arthritis. Nothing on the X-ray." I'm like, "How I got a soreness and ain't nothing wrong?" And they tell me, "Well, you got to stretch." So I be doing these stretches. I get back on the trail. So I mean, I'll be out there hiking. People be dying when I'm running up and down the hills. You know, so I give myself, you know, grace for that. But like you said, it's the recovery after the hike. Though we got to come back. You know, you in there soaking. You know, it's some hot water and heating pads. You know,
hey, bro, I be on a basketball court with football gear on, bro. I'm out there though.
You right. I'm talking about elbow, knee pads.
Yeah, I got all of it on, bro. I got the ankle braces on, the double knee brace, the spandex, everything tight. When you take that shit off, whew, that's when you got to worry about it. I ain't going out there no more. This is the last time. Yeah, hey,
but spiritually though, I don't have a problem with the aging process, because my own personal spiritual philosophy, whereas though everything that I try to do and study, doing like meditation, reading, self-reflection, things like that, deals with not being attached to the physical form, which takes us back to that first question when you was asking about, and I didn't want to come off all pompous when you asked about that, like what about the summers and the age expectancy and things. And the first thing popped in my mind was like, I'm not concerned with mortality, you know, because it doesn't end there. You know, but I understood the scope in which you asked the question. That's why I didn't do that, because I hate when people do that. You ask something, you know, you might got relatives. You ask them a simple question, and they go all out in the outer space with this long.
Yeah, you know, but I like the way you swung that around, though. That was
I waited. I didn't want to come on
that, though. And I get that coming from a religious background as a child. You know what I'm saying? You don't look at, you know, your life as a beginning or ending. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I understand what you're saying, bro. You know?
Yeah.
No, so, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have been. I would have just took that, because I've been consuming Ram Dass and like so I get it. I'm leaning heavily that way these days. It just makes more sense to me, and it allows me to put things in perspective. Now, obviously the topic is slightly,
Hey, watch this, y'all. M3, right in the chat, how old my son think I am. Right in the chat, how old my son think I am.
Let me see.
If she heard me, did she write it? You see that?
Yo, we do look older than them, though.
Yeah, I tell him, man, what are you talking about? You can't tell me. I always been here.
Yeah.
Listen,
and
this is
exactly be here.
This is funny that you put it. This is exactly what they see when they see us.
Yeah. I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Yo, I try to listen to like wise old people too, you know, older ones. I remember Dr. Wayne Dyer, you know, he was saying he used to run every day, you know, like 8 to 10 miles a day, and then he ended up having to have heart surgery because it was something genetic. You know, he wasn't out of shape, which loops me back to that whole life thing. You think you're one way, you prepare for something, but then life gives you another answer. It says, well, yeah, you're a top 10 athlete, you 53, but you know, Dr. Dyer, but I did something when you were born you ain't know about. Now you're in the hospital with open heart surgery. But it was funny. The story is he jumped over the fence. Like he was coming in from a run, and the fence is like 5 feet or more, and he jumped over. And his wife said, well, you crazy? You too old to be doing that. And he said, oh, I forgot to tell my body that. And I thought that was funny, you know, because basically he's saying my mind you know, and body ain't in sync, because my body.
Absolutely.
So he would, you know, he would always talk about how he swims in the ocean every morning with the dolphins and do all this stuff. And I remember him talking about, he said, yeah, one day I looked in the mirror and I said, damn, there's an older man rinsing my face. I just paused. I said, So like inside, he didn't feel the age. And that's how I've always suffered from that. You know, I've never felt age. It's just, I'm like, who is this person? Where the gray hair coming from?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But sometimes the body will let you know. The body be like, hey, look, the knees will tell you that was a great game, but guess what? It's going to be a while. You know what I'm saying? Your body will let you know. Whereas in his case, his body didn't let him know. You know, he didn't have the limitations. However, nature, Mother Nature, and leukemia took him out of this world. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, tip top shape, but then big cancer got another story for you. But you know, it's sad. And you know, he matter of fact, you mentioned Ram Dass. He did campaigns for Ram Dass because Ram Dass was like homeless, and he moved him out to Hawaii and got him money and got him some speaking engagements and stuff like that to help him get back. Because you know, Ram Dass basically gave away all his money. You know, true gurus don't have tens of millions of dollars talking about teaching you. You know what I'm saying? So that man, you know, took his whole life just dedicating it to the service of humanity. So those are some people that I listen to as well. You know what I mean? Other than, you know, my drunk uncle who be prophesizing, but you know, it's some good wisdom there too. You know, but you know, he know everything. But you know, you gotta know who to listen to. Now, of course, on YouTube, and I'm gonna get off the mic. You know, of course, on YouTube, 90% of what we have here is like useless rhetoric. You know what I mean? Everybody, especially when the pandemic kicked in, everybody suddenly got a podcast. But as you listen, it's hard to find that quality. And then on top of that, like a lot of us ain't tuned in to even hear it when it is there, you know, because we want the nonsense. Like you introduced me, you said I was calling for balance. Like I said, I got the charges of trying to shut down what the black YouTube sector was doing, and that's not true. And I kept saying, yo, everything in life, you got to have balance. You can't be all effery, and you can't be all consciousness all the time either. You got to kind of mix it up, you know? I didn't even say 50-50. I said, hey, how about 80-20? You know, give me 20% of, let me tune in and hear you talk common sense, and then you can go back to 80% of your roasting and your whatever it is y'all do, you know, go on here. So anyway, yeah, that was just my thought. That was just my thoughts on that. I welcome, you know, this stage of life. I imagine you mentioned something about retirement. I'm not trying to rush your show. I know you're gonna probably go into that. I'm comfortable where I am. I ain't gonna lie, and I'm gonna ask a grown man about that too. When you hit that threshold, right? And I don't know where your threshold was, where you moved. Like, okay, you was at one point, you was in your 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And you was having fun doing whatever. You was young, full of life. Then you was in your 30s. Then you start hitting 40s, and around 40s, you start looking down the other side. I call it the other side of the wall. You know, like I'm hitting middle age. Did you find that transition hard? Like you want to be young, but then the other side you wrestling because you're getting forced down that road. You know,
I gotta bring you back, because like for me, my years, it was too much for me. It was too fast for me. So I'm already, you know, in a place where I'm supposed to be at 20. So while you out there having fun and all that, I was in the penitentiary already. I had did everything already. I had, between the age of 15 and 20, I had did all what niggas trying to do now, and been doing and getting the same results I got. So from 20, I didn't come home till I was 35. So when I came home, all I remember was the stuff that I left. So I had to readjust all of that. The neighborhoods wasn't even the same for me. So I seen a lot of guys in the same position I was in come out and try to play catch up. Well, it wasn't me. I can't catch up with this. You know what I mean? I'm the guy with the high, with them elevator shoes on, with the big hat. I come home looking like LL Cool J. Everybody else in the Versace Biggie Smalls era. Okay? So I'm already out the pocket. So I'm gonna stay out the pocket and find my new pocket. You feel me? So that's what I was up on. So I didn't hit that wall until I was around 50, man. I had this youngin', you know what I'm saying? My late 40s, I got this youngin'. I'm still at, you know what I'm saying? Because it was things that I missed. It was people that I still had so much influence on a certain thing. I had to really remove myself from, you know what I'm saying, in order to get where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a hell of a transition for me. My life's been a hell of a transition, man, to this point.
Yeah, I think like when I would say 40, 35, 40. That was really like I at that point I didn't even like recognize myself. You know what I'm saying? I was like trying to figure out exactly like how did I get to this? How did I get to 40? I was just 17. It went by so fast that it was like a shock for me where I was like, oh, wait a minute. And it now don't get me wrong, like I worked, I did all those, did what I was supposed to do, you know, um, person in my personal life. But when before you know it, being that age, and like we were talking about the gray hair and stuff like that, like and looking in the mirror and embracing your wrinkles and things like that. You talked about knees, you throw your back out sneezing. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that started to like remind me, like, okay, but then I started to like go back and be like, yo, where did time go? And I found myself struggling a little bit more um mentally with this thing that I had done as a teenager. So we know like being out in the street, you either you might have been involved in something, you might have witnessed something, somebody might have told you something, or you might be aware of something that you have to take to your grave because there's still consequences for some of that stuff that you was involved in. So I found like when I got to like 40, I started to like really reflect on some of that stuff. And I started to struggle a lot with, decisions I made. And this is coming from somebody, if you looked at from the outside looking in, you're like, oh, this dude's pretty successful. He, pulled himself up. He, done good for himself. But, I was, when I started getting that age, because again, like I said, I lost a lot of friends. And then, um, early, and then as you transition into just living a regular square life, you start to expect like, okay, things are gonna be smooth sailing from there. And like I said, friends started passing away, and I started questioning like, yo, I was this dude was he was a more solid guy than me. Like, how did he pass away? I started to struggle with stuff like that as I got older. So um my transition was mentally and emotionally. I started to reflect a lot more once I got to 40.
Did you experience that dimensional shift like now in our lives? It seems like time is speeding up. It's moving faster. That's the appearance. I feel that phenomenon. I feel like the days are flickering by faster, weeks are going by. From what I'm told, there's a couple of reasons for that. One, if you were 5 years old, that was like a 20th of your lifespan. So you had a longer way to go, and your brain processes a lot more information when you're young. And now our cognitive responses have slowed down. So it makes time feel like it's moving faster. Like at age 50, you're almost at 70% of your life is over with. So that's what I've been experiencing. I don't know if you two seem like that. It's like I start on Monday, I look up, it's Sunday, and it feels like like there's some kind of dimensional shift where time is moving faster. Even though I know it's an illusion, time is time, but and they say it depends on who the observer is, but to me it feels like it's moving a lot faster. And that's what I was told is due the way that our brain processes information and the fact that we are a lot further along, on the lifespan.
Hey,
Yeah,
can I
a
swing
lot of it,
back
I
for
think.
a minute? Can I swing back,
Yeah,
bro?
go ahead.
You
Yep,
you
do
you
your
had
thing.
said you said something that I it took me a while to learn, you know what I'm saying, reflecting, because I got this saying I tell people, man, they like, we all get in our zone sometimes. They say, oh, what's good with you, bro? I said, I'm thinking about these bills I gotta pay. And they have nothing to do with the collector they might be thinking about due to the things that I might have done when I ain't know no better. but I know I still got penalties and consequences to pay. That's why I also tell the young boys, it ain't just about the physical that you might suffer. It's a mental that you're going to have to deal with for the things that you might have done. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too, you know what I mean? But it's a lot of things that may keep you up at night. You know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying? You can't get it out. You got to take that. That's part of the penalties and consequences, you know? And that's all I wanted to say, man. Because that reflecting thing, I had to be put in a box to learn how to reflect. So I get a reflection. I reflect every morning at a certain time. I get up, you know, I'm an early riser and shit. I reflect on you know what I'm saying? Those past 24, you know what I'm saying? It's a mindset, bro. Like he say, it seems like time is moving fast. If that's your mindset, if that's how you feel, it's the mindset for me, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I mean, where it come from? If you can, you know, if it's in you, man, it's gonna come out. You know, if you old, you know, you old according to society. We know what the stats is on that. You know what I mean? But what's your mindset? You know, because I see old niggas out here my age. I'm 59. They be having on skinny jeans and looking like weirdos, and I'd be like, "What the fuck's going on? What you feel me?" So it's the mindset, bro. Yeah. Nigga got on 4 tight chains and all this shit. What you doing? You got earrings all in your old head. What you talking about? Like that's what a lot of us old cats is on, though. Hey, Bobby, you know it. You in the music industry. You know it's a lot of old guys, man, that it's their mindset, bro. And you don't have to have that infantile mentality in order to get on what's going on to raise your kids. Some people, that's how the parents become the friends of the child, trying to fit in. Oh, I'm hip, I'm slick now. Like you dig?
You tapped onto something. You tapped onto something. You made me think of something, because I hear when I tune into Black Tube, you know, I hear a lot of age shaming, and I hear younger folks always say, "You're this age, and you should be at this particular position in life."
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to say to them that that's not written anywhere. Right. You know, it's not written. It don't mean, oh, you're 40, you should be married. I'm like, no, that's not written in stone. And I think that's why, you know, we started the conversation with, when I gave examples, I said, we all came from the hood, but we all took different paths. And it's just how, you know, the karma unfolded for us as individuals. So I just wanted them to let them know that, because what will happen is the youngsters, you'll be 25 now, and in 20 years, you'll be 45. And when you look around and that picture you painted, you ain't living it. Just understand, there ain't no shame on you happen to not make it.
Society said success was the 2-car garage with the white picket fence and the 2 children. And that was the definition of success at one time for society.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, man, it's, you know, if I just come off the streets, man, and ain't had nothing to eat, you know what I'm saying? You can't tell me I ain't had a successful day if somebody give me some bread and some money. You know what I'm saying? That's success for me that day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, you know, part of that reflecting and that maturing allowed me to become more of who I really am. You know, because there's certain things that I wouldn't do or say around certain people at a certain age, because, you know, for whether we fear rejection or, you know, we emasculate each other for everything. You get your heart broke, everybody laughing at you. You fall, everybody laughing at you. Everything is, you know, man up. And I actually had a therapy session, and one of the first things the therapist said was, the way that you, because you know you give the information, he said that just like, you know, that's bullshit. The way that you've been living is bullshit. You gotta, that dude, he has to die. You can't be that guy and have the world on your shoulders and be worried about everything that everybody's saying and be who society says you should be, when that's not what you want to do, or that's not how you want to, you know, you want to go about your life. You know, so I had to a lot of, like I said, during that reflection, I'm talking about counseling. I'm talking about all kinds of stuff just to try to get me. I'm waking up listening to, anything inspirational that I can to get me going during the day because, of that trying to be what society says you should be or trying to live up to standards of somebody else in particular. So, that's the transition I'm in now has been beautiful because, you know, none of that, I know none of those things actually matter. So, it's a little bit, it's a certain freedom that comes with when you get to the place where, okay, that's what you think I should be doing. But I don't really care. I'm gonna do this thing here, and I'm gonna enjoy that. That was, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. With wanted to discuss is like passions, enjoying your passions, finding things that you enjoy that don't necessarily have anything to do with anybody else. I'm talking about whether it be your spouse or your mother, your father, or your brothers or your sisters, or all your friends, your closest friends. What do you guys feel about like finding? How important do you think it is finding those things that you're passionate about that outside of anybody else's idea, like just you, something that you find passion? Some people, may like to go fishing and be by themselves. Some people may take a nice long walk and, or some people meditate. Like, what do you guys think about pursuing passions at this age, at our age?
I say it's definitely a healthy practice. I'm going to piggyback on what you said and loop around. I will say this: at this stage in life, this is the first time in the last several years I've actually experienced freedom. And by freedom, what I mean is, I grew up in this city, and we've had styles and trends and all kinds of stuff. And I realized for the first 25 years, my life was dictated by everybody else in the city, telling me what's in style, what's not in style, what colors to wear, what fashions to put on. One day I woke up, I don't remember when it was, and I just got tired. You know what I'm saying? Number one, I was raising kids, so there was no, after 25, there was no room for that. But I realized when I became completely free, when I made myself independent of the good opinions of others, stop giving a F what people think, stop living by their rules, what they should say. Like you're this age, you got to be at this point in life, or you got to be at that point in life. And I could look back and say the same thing. When I was 25, I didn't have an immature philosophy like a lot of youngins do, but I don't judge them either. As far as passion, definitely, it's whatever you want to do. At this point, a lot of stuff that takes up my time is just spiritual items, things like I'm trying to understand these ancient philosophies, trying to create my own spiritual practices and finding balance, where I'm not walking down the street letting things anger me, upset me, this went wrong. And I'm trying to listen to some of these wise older people that have left these materials, for us to read and study so I can have more inner peace. And that's where it is at this point. It's not about materialism. I look on here, and this ain't no shade to nobody. And by the way, I ain't apologize. I gotta say what I gotta say. Look, at this point in your life, if it's, especially 50 and up, if it's all about materialism and flashing and the flair and all that and showing it off, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, how much money, can you have before you find yourself completely happy? You know what I mean? You can look around. I see depressed millionaires every day of the week. You know what I mean? I see suicidal billionaires, So right there, that tells me that the pursuit of the wealth, and don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with wealth and luxury. You know what I'm saying? I know I speak in paradoxes, and sometimes I sound like a contradiction, but what I'm saying is it's usually the desire. Like some people say money is the root of all evil. It's actually the love of money. You know what I'm saying? I was taught that, and being taught that the more you hold on to something, the more desire you have. Desire is the lead to suffering. So passion is great. Like I like music. I like creating things. I like learning new art forms, stuff like that. So I say definitely, especially at this point, y'all, you're gonna get hella bored, because once once football season is over, like you're gonna have to have something to fill up your time when the games ain't on. So you gotta find something to do, learn something new, learn a new language. I like to keep my brain spongy with learning new languages and things like that, just kind of absorbing information so I keep up with these grandkids. But yeah, again, true freedom, and inner peace. I know that sounds like, all Pollyanna. It's like, yeah, right, all this. And yeah, I still do, if I hit my knee on a car door or something, you're going to hear me yell some obscenities. It's going to happen. I ain't perfect, but I know there's another other side. I see people, walking around with a can in the world. Roof blew off the house. They just like at peace. I'm trying to get to that level.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Where stuff
Right.
don't affect me. And on here on social media, you turn it on, you can get affected. You know what I mean? I've been there. We all be there as part of what we do.
Yeah,
And to me, it's fun, but hey, I don't know, man. I'm babbling at this point.
That's a good thing about reflecting and freedom, man. Like that's a you got to define that your own. That's another like how you feel about that. Like for a person to get to a certain age and you still looking for validation from anybody, then that's I don't see that as being having a sense of freedom. But I've never had a problem with that. You can, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? The problem is me being worried about what you carrying your baggage, worried about if your pot good or bad. See, my freedom is not giving a fuck about whatever you do, whether good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? When I'm not concerned about anybody else or what they are concerned about me, it's just me. That's freedom, man. When all your mindset is about is elevating yourself. Not if he doing good, not if he doing bad, not wishing nothing on him. That's just not my focus. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like a freedom for me because, I don't give a fuck what you say about me. It's always what I say about you. But my freedom now is like, I ain't got to say nothing about you because who the fuck are you? Not saying you're not nobody. That's just my focus. And as far as a passion, man, I think a passion is where we can find our relaxation point where we can fall back and be, getting our comfort zone. If you don't have a passion, I think you're kind of scattered. Yeah, you gotta have somewhere where you can, like I like to get a pen, I like to get a black, composition notebook, and I like to write. You know what I'm saying? Like I said that long. I'm writing a book, man. I got stories to tell about me. So I'm always putting some chapters in or, revising something, man. Like that's a passion I got. I could zone out doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you need that kind of stuff and freedom not to be carrying anybody else's burdens and baggage, man. That's the level you got to be at when you at a certain age, man. I heard people want to, hey man, if a motherfucker want to, they never experience being, it might be their passion to buy fancy clothes and things. So we don't want to get into that. That takes off time we could be worried about our own baggage and shit. You feel me? So that's a kind of like a freedom for me, man. That's kind of like a, yeah, it's like, I ain't gonna go to the airport and pick up nobody else's baggage. I'm gonna carry my own.
I like that. I like that. What about so I don't see myself ever retiring, quote unquote. What about retirement? How are you guys embracing that, or is this something like like I said, I don't see myself ever not working in some capacity. Maybe not as hard as I'm grinding right now, but what do you see retirement looking like if that's what you're thinking about?
No, I don't know that concept, bro. I never learned the concept of that. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way.
What am I retiring from?
Yeah, I agree. I think because I'm gonna, whether it be insurance or it's always gonna be something that you need. And I'm not saying that I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm not gonna be grinding like I'm grinding now, but I will fall back a little bit, but I don't ever see myself retiring. Now,
I got this. That goes back to me, man. Like it's too many other people that like that, might have a situation and can't, you know what I'm saying? So if what I'm doing now can help somebody later on, then maybe that bill that I got could get a little something chucked off. So it ain't about me, it's about trying to cover these bills I got. You understand what I'm saying?
yes, sir.
Metaphorically speaking. You did?
Yes, sir.
As far as I'm concerned with that, as far as retirement, definitely looking forward to that. I work a lot with people who are matter of fact, that's part of what I do, is what I do is I help people with getting ready for retirement. That's part of what I do. Me myself, like I said, I knew all the numbers, my whole life, what it would take. Now I'm jumping all over the place. I'm sorry, y'all. Well, anyway, it's a couple kind of people that I see retire. I got some of them that won't sit down. They are like in they're like 80 plus, and they're like, well, I feel good. If I sit down, I'm gonna die, I'll get sick. And I say, I respect due. And I always joke with them and say, well, I can't wait to get to be able to sit the hell down. Then I got some who are they've done so well for themselves, but they don't need the money because their whole lifestyle is very simplistic, and they just volunteer all over the place. That'll probably be me, that guy. In a couple of years, I'm probably just going to shut it down, maybe 2 days a week. Go volunteer when I'm not learning how to play golf, learning how to bowl, reading books, doing what I got to do. Again, I knew all the numbers on paper, what it would take to get us to a point where we would need to be for retirement. However, life happened. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, when I went to school, we had a good educational system, and I never would imagine that I would have to pay for my kids to go to a private school to get the same damn education that I got for free. And unfortunately, that costs a lot of money. So that kind of slowed things down for retirement. Matter of fact, I was sitting here running some numbers when you said retirement. I was calculating exactly how much I would need to put up each year to produce $80,000 in retirement that would last for 25 years. And them numbers, basically, the numbers I got them all written down. I'm looking at this going, all right, well, I'm gonna have to stay on this budget, for the next several years to get to that point. So, again, I'm a numbers guy. That's what I do, for a living. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing not absolutely a goddamn thing, and I can't wait. I drive the queen crazy because she always said, well, what if we came into this much money? What would you do? I said, look, I got a plan for any amount of money you name. I got a contingent plan. Like, okay, 250,000. You hand me that in the suitcase. That just means I just paid the mortgage off, right? The mortgages are done, right, and a couple dollars to invest. $500,000. I still got to get up and go to work the next morning. Right. Pay, I'll put enough money. $1 million. Nah, we still got to go to work. She's like, what? $1 million? I said, that's not enough. I said, I would imagine if you give me 1.7 million right now, I would be able to add to what I got and then restructure that portfolio. I'll be able to sit down. So other than anything short of that, I got to get up and go to work. So I'm sitting there like, so if you come in here and say, hey, here's $300,000 in a small paper, brown paper bag, small unmarked bill, I ain't gonna get too excited because I'm like, man, I still got to go to goddamn work. So, and you come in here with 2 million, you'll see me smile. That's how I look at it. I can't wait. And I know they be listening to my phone calls at work going, damn, he sound all over and through. Hey, look, man, it is what it is. I ain't say nothing bad. I just said I can't wait. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all personally as a company. I'll be more than happy to come in one day and we can consult. I'm just saying, I'm ready to sit down. I'm tired of work. At the how long I've been working? I don't even know how long I've been working. What, 30-something damn year? I mean, to me, it's a ripoff. And I'm gonna say this, like I was arguing with some of my veteran buddies online. A lot of them is conservative rednecks, and they all Trump this, Trump that, and they want to argue about Joe Biden and all this other stuff. I said, look, bro, when you can make it, if you want to make America great again, make it so that one man can support a family of 3 on one paycheck, and in 20 years get a pension and a gold watch, and then go start another career and get another pension. And by that time, he's now 50, late 50s, and can sit down with 2 pensions and his Social Security and live a lovely life. So when you can make it like that again, wake me up, let me know. Then they never have an answer for that, because it ain't like that right now. You know, you and your old lady got to work. Y'all got to grind 2.5 jobs just to stay on top of things. So it's harder, you know. So like I said, I done did enough work. I'm tired. I'm ready. The kids is good and gone. I'm ready to, I'm ready to sit my ass down, to be honest with you, you know.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm ready to sit down, but I don't know if the way things look, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna have to do something. I feel that way. I could be wrong, but I'm just like, I'm gonna be doing something.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I can't. It's too many people can't eat, man. You know, I gotta do what I gotta do, man, until I'm done.
Mhm.
Hey, but the tee off, man. Who wouldn't love to go tee off, man? You know, sip on some margaritas, put your feet up, and go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd
Yeah,
be what they say. It must be nice.
must be nice, you know.
All right, now we're gonna talk about final arrangements.
Ooh.
Do you? What made me include this in there?
Nah, that's
is,
cool. I like that. Because
Um,
you don't get those. That's not daily conversation for certain people. Some
yeah,
people can't handle that kind of talk, man.
yeah, we don't. But what made me really like, because I was back and forth. Like, all right, let me take this out. Let me take this out. But seeing it's been a couple of my friends that passed away, and seeing how people behave, whether it be for whatever possessions you have or whatever money you have or whatever, and seeing how, like, I had one friend, he was on a respirator, and he's pretty much checking out. His daughter, it was a like a awful situation. His daughter was like 21, and she was legally responsible for, pulling the plug or whatever. But knowing that she had this hell of a responsibility, it didn't stop family members from either coming in and, arguing or talking about, oh, well, where's this Jeep and where's this and where, and to the point where they physically fought in the room that he's on his deathbed. Now, I don't know if it's true, but when I went to see him, the nurses said, you can go and talk to him and, tell him you love him, wish him well on his journey. He can hear you. That's what they said. I have no way of knowing if he could hear me or not, but they told everybody that. And the fact that they told everybody that, and then people still went in there and they physically fought to the point where this was in Yale New Haven Hospital, that when I went up there, they were only allowing 2 people in the room at a time, because people were in there physically fighting over who's gonna pull the plug and who's gonna make the final decision, and who's gonna get this and who's gonna get that, while he's in there with that breathing machine, awful breathing machine, and they arguing and fighting. I think the idea of having things set in stone so people can't do those type of things. Not that anybody would do it. We don't know for sure, but do you have in mind what you want moving forward for you, for your arrangements, and what you want as far as
Oh, absolutely.
whatever your service is? Like, have you guys thought about that at all?
Yeah, definitely. I thought about that like in maybe when I went overseas, when I went to Saudi, right? So when you go to Saudi, right, you got to do certain, and you make the Hajj or the Umrah, you got to do a certain ritual. You know what I'm saying? Where there's certain garbs you got to wear. those are supposed to be the same garbage you're supposed to get buried in. So I already got my gear. Boom. We know that, you know, my family, this is what we do. We do it as quick as possible. That's already, you know, we already know, get me in the ground in 3 days, you know what I'm saying? And it's got to be as cheap as possible. You know what I mean? We already know if it's a plug or anything like that involved, my wife do not hesitate to pull it. You know what I'm saying? And we get it done with. That's how that go. Let me go on, man. I got other things to do.
I like it.
Interesting. Back to mortality, full circle. That's 100% true, especially in my family. I saw my aunts fight over China, and my aunt Lucille's body lay in the floor. You know, not even cold. They're in there fighting, right? So again, this is part of what I do. Within for my own self, because it's funny, I was having a conversation with the oldest boy, who he was like, "What you gonna do with grandma's house and all of this?" And I said, "Oh, that place will be liquidated if she passed on." He's like, "Well, that's family, that's generational wealth." He started preaching all this stuff. I said, "Well, is you gonna be the property manager? Is you gonna be dealing with the tenants and kicking the holes in the wall and re-reing them and Raynisha and you gonna be dealing with all of that or what? Because you know, don't tell me generational wealth and I gotta get stuck with doing all the work. I have a will and a revocable living trust, and I have an auntie who's the executor of the estate. So you know, it ain't gonna be, y'all ain't gonna have to fight over nothing because whatever's gonna go where has already been determined.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and newsflash, my children, if you happen to hear this broadcast, it's going to y'all's kids, not y'all. So you just get that picture out your mind.
Long as you get that all out the way, your financial stuff out the way, like everything else is a formality.
Yep. The grandkids will be going to college for free. You, baby boy, need to focus on building your own wealth and doing all the things that I taught you to do, which some of y'all ain't listening. And I told you, I said, you have the benefit of 20 years of me making mistakes. And I'm telling you how to build now to make your own self comfortable when you retire. Don't be sitting here counting what's in my pocket, talking about when I go, because I don't plan on going. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be here for a minute. So, and then when I do go, like I said, it's all gonna be on y'all kids, and y'all kids ain't even, well, one of them, but the rest of them ain't even grown yet. So don't worry about what's gonna happen to Nana's house and what you gonna do with the car. Don't worry about all that because you ain't gonna see it. You know, that's for the next generation. And I said I will advise you to plan for, you know, my kids. I said plan for y'all grandkids too. You know, because all of y'all is grown. You know what I'm saying? So I know that sounds like I'm being harsh, you know what I mean? Because I treat them like that. The same way when I told you I raised these millennials, so everything with them, they know everything. You can't tell them nothing. I say, good. Then show me how to do it. Do it better than what I did, right? Y'all take care of y'all kids, and I got the grandkids. You ain't got to worry about that. And I say what you need to do is focus on what you're going to leave to your grandkids, and see, your grandkids will be the children of my children. They'll have like double. You know, and that's how you build generational wealth, son. Don't sit there and wait for me to do it and wait for you to receive. So again, ain't gonna be no fighting. Ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't got to worry about the funeral director and all y'all in there acting a fool. And you know, down here in Baltimore, they bring guns to funerals. I don't know what that's about. You know what I mean? What the hell? God damn, what you do? Let me tell you something. If your life is so bad and you got that many enemies where you got to bring a gun to a funeral, bro, you need to, I don't know, you need to change your lifestyle, move somewhere else down south, do something. You know what I mean? So yeah, basically, all that's taken care of, you know. So y'all ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to worry. It's all gonna get liquidated, you know. And the checks gonna be in the trust fund for the grandkids. So that's all I got to say on that, you know. And again, I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, you got at least 22 summers, so you don't have to worry about it. They got a long wait.
Right.
But yeah, man, that's really all I have. And I don't know if you guys got time. I would put the link and see if anybody want to come up and chop it up a little bit. If y'all still got some time. If not, we could just check on out.
Whatever you want, bro. I'm here with you, man. I appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, nah, this is man, y'all don't even know how much this means to me because I I procrastinate, and then to be like to reach out to people on a whim and have them be like, oh yeah, nah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? When I ain't been doing like I want to I'm looking for my sweet spot. I think I'm gonna do Wednesdays, like do like an hour every Wednesday or something, but just just busy, just between work and family and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
that's when on that content creator tip. That
Yeah,
it's hard, man. When you want to do certain things, but time, man, time is real when you know, like you got a life. If this is
that's
not
why I'm saying I
you know,
appreciate it so much. That's why I appreciate
yeah,
it so
if a
much because I
person can
know
come
every
on here, that I appreciate. Uh, if a person can come on here, man, on a daily basis and get something out of this or put something out there, man, eh, hey, I applaud you. I don't have my time, don't allow it right now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's hard for
it's
me
such
to put out content, even if you want to.
yeah. And you guys are a little bit more like me. Like I'm like you guys are a little bit more like where I could tell like you guys are able to just pick up. And I know you prepare a little bit. You have the thought in your mind, but I see the way you guys interact with chat and how you can just almost like a freestyle where somebody can bring up
Yeah,
something, you guys can go into it. I'm still trying to, I'm still trying to get confident enough to just be like, oh, let me just go live and see what's going on. I'm like reading, researching,
see,
preparing
you know
because
what
I
it is?
started.
You know
uh,
what? Like with that, it's gotta be you gotta just get it out. Like, see, this what I would excuse me for a minute, y'all. But if I
you
wasn't on
do.
here with you, I'd be somebody calling me, trying to get some game, trying to, give me a minute, y'all. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, do your thing. Do your thing.
Personally, I like the way you did it this way, where you planned it out. Your guests, it was structured. I mean, you could probably just turn on the mic and wing it, but I can tell you that even that would be better with some preparation to hit your topics, unless you're gonna do like sector stuff and just basically never mind.
That's
You know
that's
what
my
I
guy.
mean?
I got
If you're gonna do that, then that ain't nothing. You can just go on and just basically play somebody
Yeah,
else's live back and stop it every 15 minutes and say, I believe, I think, and see right there what she said. You can do that, that's easy. But
nah,
I think what you're doing right here is great. It's an adult
oh, this is dope
show
right here.
conversation. It's that balance we've been talking about. And you seem to be good at it. So hey, I don't know. I think you found your niche personally.
Yeah, this for me, this is dope, man. Like I appreciate. That's why I say I appreciate it, man. Because like it's hard for a person to come on here and just constantly, that other, you know what I'm saying? Like that energy ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's hard, bro.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
hard.
That seems draining too. It seems like it's draining to do that. But that ain't my thing anyway. I'm in cloud watch. I'm gonna be in
I
the chat.
wouldn't say it's not, it's kind of like that's why you have to find out what's going on, man, because it's just like the type of person you are. It all depends on who you are. It could be draining for some people, it could be exhilarating for some people. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Some people get they might feel pumped up after they do that. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on who the person is, man. And that's what we got to understand. Like what are you getting out of it? That's why I be talking about other people baggage. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's what I initially enjoyed it because I was in the place that I was in. I was like, I was ultra aggressive, but I wasn't gonna do anything outside of, in my real life to the detriment of my family and the things I have. So I just come online and listen to people just going at it. So I was like, yeah, this is perfect. Just get all this aggression out, just listen. But then after a while, it's like, okay, how much of that
Yeah.
did you really
Yeah,
actually
that's
do?
crazy, bro. Cause that's what when he said like what Bombay say, cats be going to funeral with guns. But check it
Yeah.
out, yo. Just check this out for a minute. Now you got a young kid, he in his early teens, he wake up in the morning, he banging nothing but murder music. All his waking hours, he play that GTA game, killing, killing, killing. That's all he hear. That's all he see. He becomes desensitized to to where the point like you. That's why you got these young boys today kill for no reason, because they don't have the concept of taking a life because they don't understand what life is yet. And that's why you got people carrying guns at funerals when that would have been a total disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. I don't want nothing to do with that. When
Yes.
I walked away from the block when I was like 19, and
Yeah,
I
they
left.
all that, man. They don't understand that, and it's the stuff that they eat, and I ain't talking about with a spoon. You know what I'm saying? It's the brain food, man.
Right.
If you see it affecting adults, why wouldn't you think it'll affect a child?
Yeah. Right. Right. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna just wrap it up, and y'all hang tight because I'm gonna chat with y'all a little bit in the back. I really like this format, and like I said, I like y'all voices, so I want to link up and do something else. We could go topic for topic. You know what I'm saying? Each one of us pick a topic.
We left a lot on the table. We left a lot of food on the table.
Yeah, for sure. I like I said, I had some stuff, but I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna, because y'all cooking. When y'all cooking, there's no reason for me to cut in and be like, whoa, what are you? Nah, let y'all cook and let that authentic message get out there. So that's it, y'all. Thank I appreciate everybody for coming in the chat and participating. As they always say, you could have been anywhere, but you was here with us. So I really appreciate it. And again, salute to Dr. Bombay and Legend. So
salute to you, bro. Salute to you.
And we out.
Yes. And the swag goes hard, so it gotta come equipped with, you know, only way to the top, push up, then I drop these. The scales would tell if I train well. The song stupid strong, my name ring dumbbells. Attack the track, 100 pounds around, ain't scales. Muscle man running laps in the sand. Physical, I'm fit. Stereos, pump fans, get diesel. The music's like a rep to your pet. Tall rails, no spotter, you got a problem. This is colossal.